It is. Hi.
Hey, you.
Yeah, so apparently there is another um what is it called? The Hunger Games. There's something about the Hunger Games actually happening.
Yes, yes, Al told me about this.
Yeah, and I was like, why? So it was very weird that like people just happened upon this information, right?
Yeah. I, something was in the air
Yeah.
because I was seeing TikToks. It was
Hmm.
on the Netflix like top 10
Yeah.
count, some of the
After
movies.
we talked about it. Now
It
I didn't see it
it was
before.
us. Yeah, it was
And
us.
I completely thought that it was like my voice into the phone,
Sure.
into the stratosphere, saying, we need more PETA or Gail.
Right.
And that's far from the truth, people.
No.
I don't need that at all.
Yeah.
I also saw other TikToks about how a lot of those types of books, like those post-war, like catastrophic
Um
books,
Dystopian. Yes.
yeah, dystopian books are actually just stuff that Black people have been going through this whole time. Like, so,
Yikes. Yeah.
children going to fight each other for white people's entertainment, or, or dystopian Chicago is pretty
Right.
much Black now. Like, it's pretty much what people are going through now. Um,
I feel
it's
weird. I cannot agree or extrapolate on the struggles of Black people. I don't feel like that's fair for me. I'm just sitting here listening to you.
I, I mean, you can be a part of the narrative, or,
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
you know,
I don't. I
keep,
don't. I don't know what Susan Collins. No, that's not her.
yes, I
Susan,
thought it
whatever.
was
Maybe that's
Susan.
her
I think
name.
it's Susan Collins.
We'll go with that. I'm sure the people in the comments will let us know. Email us at wearecupandchub@gmail.com.
Again,
Um,
that is we are chub at
dot
gmail.com.
com. Um, no, she released a new book like a year and a half, 2 years ago. That's like
Hmm.
a prequel about
Oh,
President Snow. I don't know the story, so I'm not gonna. It's
well,
like
I don't need to know about him.
yeah. So I think they're making that a movie or a TV show or
Okay.
something. So I think that's
Okay.
what spun up some of the pop culture stuff of it.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes sense, because I was like, where is this all of a sudden coming from? Like, why are people interested in this story again? I was like, if anything, you can do the Binti series, um,
Mm.
which is I think it's Afrofuturism in some ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's about this girl who sneaks away from her family and goes on this spaceship to go learn about space stuff. And
Sure.
yeah, and it's really cool. I enjoyed the
What's it
whole
called?
series. It's Binti, Binti.
And
Yeah.
where'd you see this?
My friend gave me the book. So it's not a it's a novel
Oh, you
series.
got to read it?
Yeah,
Oh, you
yes.
so smart. I don't read. That's cool.
I read occasionally when
Me too.
when it is pleasurable to me. I don't like to read, music or anything of that sort. um, no,
Mm-hmm.
but like when it hits me, it hits me that, I have these moments where I'm like, I'm gonna read books, and I'll go through maybe like 3 or 4 months of just
Yeah.
ham. But yeah, like the Benty says, if you're a reader, which, you know I understand most Americans are not, because our school system sucks. But
Mhm.
yeah, the Benty series is really good. Check it out.
Nice.
Don't ask me who it's by. But it's Binti. Look it up.
Look it up,
uh
people.
yeah, Google.
Well, Tim, we've been off
Yeah,
for, we took a week off.
we did.
Thanks to everybody who were patient and hanging out for us. Life happened. And we just needed 5 seconds.
Yes. I really appreciate everybody who is still listening. I hear that consistency is key, but sometimes it takes a moment. You got to take a beat to um, do your life things.
That's
So,
right. And you know what, Tim? You and I came out the gate. We had never
yeah,
done a podcast. We had never done any of this stuff. And all of a
never.
sudden, we went 3 months every week going, "What's the topic? What are we doing? What are we talking to?" Like we
Very
working
that.
it. We've been working it.
And, I'd like to commend us because I can't speak for you, but for me, I'm very flaky and I will say, yeah, I'm going to do this and then not end up doing it.
I
Hence
love
my
how you,
way.
my best friend, won't call me flaky to my face on this podcast. That's love. That's
Um,
family, and I appreciate that.
First of all, I don't consider you flaky anymore. Look,
I had a very
you've grown. You've
I had a
big.
big flaky period in my life. That's
Yeah,
true.
your college life was pretty uh pretty
Tim,
flaky.
Tim with the segue. Look at this bitch. Oh, that's right. So Tim, you said the magic words, college life, and
Yeah.
that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our college times, and Tim and I had very different experiences and even bifurcated experiences during multiple different pathways. It's crazy.
Did.
Um, but let's kick this thing off. Tim, you want to introduce us?
Yeah, sure will. Hi, I'm Tim
And I'm Bear, and this is Cub.
and Chubb.
We're back, baby!
Woo! It took a
Yay!
week, but we're there. We're back. We're back. We're viewed. We're back.
A week
We're
for
back. We're
mental health.
viewed. We're back.
A week for mental health. Bye.
Hey.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
So, Tim, we're talking about college life this week.
We are. Oh my God. I feel
Memory
like it's
lane.
been so long ago.
Memory lane. And it's weird. I'm saying memory lane, but I've got a very recent college story. But
You do.
my college life is very long.
It's vast.
Vast and spans decades.
It
Decades.
does.
Three?
3?
Technically 3 decades.
Wait.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
I be forgetting.
You be forgetting. Yeah.
I be forgetting how old I really am.
You're old. But Tim, tell me, like, was college like always a foregone conclusion in your family? Did you like assume you were gonna go? Was there an expectation that you would go, or what did like the beginning of college look like for you from like transitioning from high school?
So it wasn't, I won't say that it was something that I always wanted to do, but it was an expectation almost because I was decent at school. I made good grades. I didn't try very hard. And so to Black parents, that equaled he's naturally intelligent in that way. So it was just always like, hey, this is how you succeed. You go to college, you get a good job, and then you'll be successful.
Yeah.
So I pretty much like, I guess made myself made myself what is the word? Sorry. I just made myself okay with the idea that I'm going to college.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether I actually wanted to, regardless of whether, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, which I did not.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to college because my parents told me this is how you succeed in life. And I wanted to succeed. Also, being, the gay kid in your family of, I had a bunch of aunts and uncles, and they had nieces and nephews and everything. I had a lot of cousins, and I didn't know any gay people. There were no gay people, so I was like, even if I don't go to college, I gotta get out of here. So in high school, it was very much get good grades so you can at least get out of here.
Yeah.
And I graduated high school a year early,
Hmm.
thinking, you know, that was going to propel me in some way to get to freedom faster.
Hmm.
Uh, my parents promptly told me, instead of going off to college, you will be going to um, community school, community college. I said, no, I won't. I won't be doing that. We had our one and only fight for the most part.
Yeah.
And I ended up not going to school for 2 years. Um, ended up and basically out of the blue one day, in like 2006 or 7, I can't remember. Um, I told my mom I was going to Radford University.
Are you?
Yes, I told her I will be leaving in 2 weeks, and she was like, "Huh?" She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, gotta go." So I did. And yeah, like it was always something that from high school at least that I was like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
going to this is going to happen.
Yeah, it
But
was
how about
the
you?
idea of the ticket out, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was the golden ticket to getting to something other than what I had been accustomed to.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I always assumed I would go, and I
Mhm,
did. My dad, my dad had gone to college. You know, he graduated and then um, eventually spent some time in the military helping pay for school
mhm,
and got his degree. And my mom, I think she may have like tried some classes after high school, but she had a child very young, and there was some
mhm.
family stuff, so she didn't go to college after high school. But I think my interest in tech or just kind of furthering my education, I also kind of always imagined that college would be that way of getting out of the house,
Yeah.
being the middle child and the only boy, and those lovely tensions in the house with family dynamics that happened at times.
Mhm.
Playing peacekeeper was
Getting old.
getting old.
Yeah.
And any of my family members listening to this, you know I love you. It's all good. It's all gravy now. But as an 18-year-old, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready to
I
run.
mean,
I'm ready to get out of here.
angsty
Yeah,
18-year-olds, like just teenagers in general, like we all think we want to get out of here. Rah, rah,
right.
rah.
I was done with it. I spent 2 days at Christopher Newport University the fall after
Mm,
I graduated, so I was 18.
ooh.
Um, and the military planes flying
Mhm.
overhead nearby from the Air Force Base, constant panic attacks. So, for anybody listening, this was
Oh,
the fall after 9/11,
okay.
and I was still in PTSD mode. Like, panic
Mm,
disorder was brand new to me.
yeah.
Um, and
It was probably
so
brand new to
a
a
lot
lot of
of a
people.
lot of people my age,
Yeah.
a lot of people in general, I'm sure. But um, I was I I developed that issue of sitting in a class and not being able to concentrate and getting nervous
Mhm,
because I was in a classroom when 9/11 happened and all those associations with that.
mhm.
So being in a classroom right next to an Air Force base where you're zoom,
Yeah.
and it's like I think I got up and ran out of the last class and did not go back. So that
Oh.
was my that was my first multi-thousand-dollar loan that I took out for my education that would go into that part of the ledger.
God,
Um,
that's
and then I spent the next 3 years like working. I knew that a classroom setting was triggering for me,
mhm,
so I spent the next 3 years playing in my band, and we would
mhm.
like play bars and do that, and working like a 9 to 5 job. Um, but eventually, I was like, some of my other friends who were late to the college game, if you will, were finally kind of going off and doing their own thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta go do that. So I eventually, like 3 years later, ended up at Radford, um, and
Highlanders.
was I was very popular being the 21-year-old in the freshman dorm. I was older than everybody.
Listen, I would have loved you. I would have been like, "Hey, go get me some beer or something."
I mean that everybody hung out in our room because we had access because I was the one. Not that I'm saying that that's okay and don't go do that, people, but also it's college, so just get over
Don't do it.
it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, yeah. So I always knew I would go, but my journey has just been so up and down,
Yeah.
and so much of that is because of not being diagnosed with the
Mhm.
panic disorder and not being medicated in a way that would help me get through that.
Mhm.
So the journey started out pretty rough, um, but eventually it was okay.
Hey,
we got to where we were. Um, so
we
kind
get to
of
where we need to be.
right. Like not to spoil the ending, but I spent a lot of time at Radford and did not come out with a degree. When
You met
people,
me, that was the goal.
that's
Like
right, the goal was to meet Tim, but I spent a lot of time there and didn't graduate. And when people ask me about, everybody I know knows I went to Radford. I was there for 4, 5 years, and they're like, when did you graduate? I'm like, I stopped going in the spring of 2011. Like,
I stopped going.
yeah, I was like, I think my last semester was 2011. What did you study, or what was your degree in? I studied English. You
Yeah.
know, I'm very, it's a sensitive topic for me because
Mhm.
I felt like a failure at
Yeah.
the time, um, and I learned a lot. I went to a lot of classes. I got a lot of credits. So many credits were gotten.
Mhm.
Um, 90 of them, and I couldn't get across the finish line. Um, but again, I just got my degree back in this past fall. Got
Yeah.
my bachelor's in data management
Exactly, which has nothing to do with English.
or accounting or music therapy or marketing or any of the other like 5 majors I declared while I was at Radford University. You know,
Listen, we sometimes we need to have a little real world application for the things that we want to have.
yeah. I always loved working. I never mind making a dollar. I never
Mhm.
mind, um, meeting you in the fraternity. You know,
Yeah.
which is going to be in our next bit, but um, there are relationships there uh, that were worth the loans that I'm paying off now. You know what I mean? Like I'm so
Yeah.
glad that that happened. Um, but I mean, it kind of leads into the next question. But do you think it was ultimately beneficial?
I will say that I think that college, in the social aspect of college, is very, very beneficial
Mm-hmm.
to any and everybody that can go. Um, I think I think nobody gets anywhere these days by doing everything on their own.
Sure.
So I think that you need to create a space where people can find connections. And what better way than being stressed the hell out for 4 courses that mean absolutely nothing to your life? Being together, whether it being after your class, you go and you eat and you stress out and you smoke your cigarette or whatever, or you go drinking and you meet somebody that you throw up with in the bathroom, and you never know who they're going to grow up to be. They could end up being the manager at the place that you find work at, that
Yeah.
ends up being part of your passion, that ends up, there's not a job that I have gotten in the past 10 years that hasn't been from a connection that I made in college. Now, did it
Mm,
have anything to do with my degree? Sort of, but I could have gotten in with just the connection itself.
yeah.
Um, so I would tell anybody, yes, it was completely worth it.
If you can make it work, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but if you can facilitate that in some other way that doesn't cost you $100,000 from Sally Mae, um, do that. Like,
Yeah.
forget the degree. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you and I come up before the concept of a side hustle or learning from YouTube videos and like just putting like that kind of concept of learning on the job, learning on training, and
yeah,
because
even online learning, really. Like, I
it was
we started talking.
developing. Yeah,
Yeah, we started with that Blackboard bullshit, and
yeah,
it was online is not for me.
no,
I need somebody to push me to do things
sure.
in a timely manner. But a lot of people are getting online degrees, and I think it's wonderful that they can go for $20,000 versus, a hundred, 110
Oh
or
yeah,
something. But
no, I mean, yeah, we definitely, and I still feel that like if I wanted to get a bigger job in tech or something like that, like I've got to have the degree, and it just like isn't true anymore. Like you
no,
can learn code, you can learn these technical skills, you can learn a trade
yeah.
and improve yourself through your work without having to have those things. And that's just a flip in my brain that really just hasn't happened. And again, it's probably from years of assuming you had to do that.
Well, I think we forget that in the 70s and 80s, people weren't going to college. People had like trades and they learned their skills in high school at like home ec or whatever. And they learned those skills and then they used them in those types of jobs like plumbing and woodworking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they created enough wealth to have have families and houses and stuff. But somewhere along the line, we just made it almost mandatory, at least mentally. We made it mandatory that you have to go to college in order to succeed at, plus C plus plus whatever or
Mm-hmm. Look at you dropping C plus plus.
no,
Okay.
no.
Look at you.
I wanted to, you don't know this, but when I was in high school, I wanted to be a systems analyst.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
That was my first that was my first I'm gonna go to college for that. And then I did an internship at the school board, and all they had me doing was making like telephone wires.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
this is stupid. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this. And so I I ended up not doing that, and I was like, I'll be a pharmacist instead. So I'm not that either.
No.
So,
The path that we go down, baby.
yeah, still in healthcare though. So
Well, Tim, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I believe that's okay. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Hola.
Hello, everybody.
So as we have told you guys, me and Bear have been friends for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we're a little older than that. So there was a before and after um our meeting. So let's talk about the before, Bear. What was your college experience like before me and your thing?
Before you, so oh, okay. I don't have to completely rehash this because I already talked about this in length on another episode. I think about relationships. Tim, we've been podcasting for
Oh
so long
yes.
with
Oh my
um
God. We have to, we have to.
if I had the time and skills, I would insert that story
I
right
was
here.
like, can we do the black and white?
Remix. But
Cue
I
that beautiful being footage.
um I I had been in school for 2 years,
Mhm,
maybe 3 years at that point, before I met Tim through the fraternity.
mhm,
And the before the fraternity situation was a lot of that was wrapped up in the that relationship and best friend dynamic with the girlfriend and the best friend, and we won't rehash that. So
A
I
scandalo.
a scandalo. Um, so there was part of me like those first couple of years of college were delusional in this relationship
Mhm.
that eventually turned into a triangle
Mhm.
that eventually blew up in my face, um,
As most triangles do.
as most triangles do. And so that was it's really weird because all of that is kind of bundled together there, working at the bookstore on campus, trying to meet friends, trying to figure out who I was, and you know switching majors and switching groups. I was having a good time, but I was still kind of lost in terms of like the social aspect.
Mhm.
And so when that relationship blew up and I was shattered, the fraternity appeared. It was a very weird timing, and so I talked a little about this too. But when I joined the fraternity, I was in defensive mode because of what had happened, and so I was meeting all of these mostly straight, uh, mostly white boys that in this fraternity that seemed to really want to get to know me, and for the most part seemed very friendly, and I don't know, they wanted me to join, and I felt inclined to because I was kind of lonely at the time. I wanted to meet new people, but I had my defenses up. And
Mhm.
so that journey was really interesting because I kind of started here with everybody. And over the years, like slowly started to let people in, and kind of thawing out um, from that previous relationship. So by the time you joined,
Mhm.
I was the president. I was about to be the president. I
Yes.
think, yeah, you
So
pledged the year before.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And then like the summer happened, and then you became president. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, that's right. So, I got elected president in the spring. The summer happened, and me and Tim bonded as we kind of went into the fall of my presidential year.
Mhm.
And um and that whole thing was the summer events were obviously very intense, and then being the president being the president of that fraternity again, I love those guys for the most part. They're a good group of guys. They're young college 20 somethings, right? Like we all
Yeah.
were.
Well,
um
most of them were under 20.
a lot of youngins. There were a lot of
Yeah.
youngins, and I think that was my struggle, is that I was older, I was working a full-time job, I was not experiencing life through their eyes, and I was in charge of
Yeah.
all of them. And
Mhm.
so I kind of turned more into like a mother figure of like, we probably shouldn't be doing that, shouldn't we? We should probably be focused on financials and all these other things that I
Yeah.
was trying to get right in my life. And they were just trying to have a
Yeah.
good time. And you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We were
And I
just,
think we got together because I was older than them.
you
And
also had the age difference. Yeah.
yeah, I was at that time I was 21,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, y'all 18-year-olds are a lot. And I just want to go to a bar, have a drink, and maybe sing. Um
Yeah.
and and I think that's where we we kind of like chose like, okay.
Yeah, the Venn diagram for I think for our relationship and my love for Radford is joining the fraternity and meeting those guys and socializing.
Mhm.
Again, not having a lot of straight friends before, it
Yeah.
was a learning curve, but I'm so glad it happened because I built skills there that I think I wouldn't have built in any other situation.
Yeah.
But then McAdoo's karaoke, shout out. I don't believe I wow, how did we get this far and not say McAdoo's? That's weird.
I mean, I didn't know if you wanted to say
Oh no,
it. I didn't know.
nothing but love for McAdoo's. I hope. I
Yes.
don't know if they've done something or the owner. I don't know.
I don't
Uh,
know. But like the McAdoo's of our years
yeah,
was very um instrumental in
yeah, yeah,
at least my sanity for those last 2 years.
yeah. I from 2007 to 2011 when I left for that other job, um, I was there every Saturday.
Mhm.
I say every Saturday. I was definitely there every Saturday for karaoke, and then I was probably there
Most
every
days.
other
We're at
night. And
least there every Tuesday as
it,
well.
yeah, it if it was a sitcom, it's where the friends go to hang out in the background, right?
Everybody
Um,
knows your name.
Everybody knows
Uh,
your name. At fucking my favorite is one of my bosses from the bookstore. He was an out of towner, and he would come and visit like the regional manager. He's like, we should go to Mikado's. And I was like, oh, you're so cute. It's
this is not
nice.
bougie. It's
Yes,
not.
yeah. Let's
I
go to
mean,
Mikado's.
now it kind of is a little clean, but
They did. That's right. They invested in like revamped it. And it's all like they
I
mop
don't.
it and shit. I don't know that place.
I'm not feeling the same about it these days. But
Yeah,
it, it
it's different. It is
it
different.
gives a different feel. It's more family oriented. It feels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's
those McAdee's days. I mean, I know it was a drunken blur, and I know there were some
but it
probably like
felt good. Like I remember what I felt like.
I remember being 20 and invincible,
Yeah.
and that is a feeling that comes and goes.
I still love screwdrivers. Thank you for that drink. I
Oh, no
appreciate
problem.
it.
I'm here to
But
teach.
I
I
did.
am here to
Up
lend a
until then,
hand.
I was drinking amaretto sours because I was hanging out with black girls. And
Ah, yeah. Uh,
I mean,
white
now I
people
drink bourbon because I'm a grown man. But
for all
like,
for all the things for all the terrible things that white people do. I know a lot of decent white bartenders. So shout out to all those.
oh, shout out to Nick.
Nick, oh my god, Nick and Kaylee, don't you dare. Timothy Carter. I hope Nick never hears this. He is a respectable man with
I
a
mean, what
respectable
are you
body.
talking about?
I don't know.
It's not like I said anything.
Gosh, thank goodness nobody can watch this on YouTube. You can find us at Cub and Chub on YouTube.
Cub and Chub on YouTube.
On YouTube. Oh, Nikolai. Oh, memories. DJ Rob. Always want to
I
do a
rem-
duet. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Oh,
I love Rob. He was very sweet.
Rob's a sweetie pie. I'm eating up all our time, Tim. I'm sorry. What about you? What about the before and after
No.
picture?
Well, my first 2 years at college were very different from my last 2 years. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like a yin and yang, if you will.
Mm.
Um, I was the first 2 years I was a part of the gospel choir. Shout out to DGC, Deliverance Gospel Choir.
Ooh.
We were amazing. Our harmonies were on point. Our moves were cute.
Oh no.
Um, and we had fun with the Lord. And within that, I met a lot of people who to this day I still love them to death. We're not as close as we once were. But I adore them so much. Shout out to Danae. They are
Danielle.
they are the most wonderful people, and I appreciate them so
Mm.
much. But yeah, like I was a tenor in the gospel choir, and also when I got there, I was not the lead singer for most of the songs, but by the time you know, by the time by the time I was getting ready to be done, I was leading a lot of the songs. Um, and I don't know, like even I went to summer school every year. So
Mm.
I got to meet other black straight people who were cool and we had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Um but we're not exactly friends anymore. And I was actually looking at a TikTok about um there was a queer black person and she was talking about how she isn't friends with as close friends with her straight black counterparts.
Mm.
And she made the she made the argument that maybe they're not as inclusive
Mm,
in their way of life and speech and stuff like that.
sure.
Um, and so, you know, we kind of end up just kind of drifting apart a lot. Um, and I miss them, but I wish them well, as good as, my life is.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I I really enjoyed my first 2 years, and then um I was in a biology course, and I met my friend Kim. Shout out to Kim.
Cam,
Yes.
is she still? Is she still?
No, I just don't remember her new last name.
Oh,
Uh
I'll tell
and
you what.
and and I don't want to say it. Just beep out the name.
I'll beep.
just
I was gonna
beep
say I'll just beep it out. We're good. Yeah. Okay.
just beep out her last name.
Sure.
Um
What's up, Kim?
but I love you so much, Kim. You're wonderful. Um I met her in my anatomy and physiology class, and she was just such a cool chick until we stayed friends even after the course. And she told me, you should try out, you should it's not audition, but you should go pledge this fraternity.
Mm,
And I was like, who is this fraternity? And so I went and checked them out. It was Phi Mu Alpha. And oh, can we say that? No.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not a secret that we're in the fraternity,
Oh
or
no,
that.
but I mean, like, we say a lot of things.
I don't know that we've said Phi Mu Alpha.
Yeah, I don't think that we've said it.
Oh, we are alumni of Phi Mu Alpha.
Yes, we are alumni of the illustrious Phi Mu Alpha. No, I'm just we are alumni of Phi Mu Alpha,
Yeah.
and it's a music fraternity. Um, and I was like, sure, I'll go. I always kind of wanted to be a part of a fraternity. I always thought that I would be a part of the Divine Nine. Um,
Hmm.
didn't work out, but maybe if I go back for my master's degree, I will see what the end gonna be. But
Hmm.
it's no, I pledged Phi Mu Alpha, and um it was an experience. It was a particular experience.
Like you
Yeah,
are an experience.
uh not that type of experience. It was it was life altering and life changing. It moved me into um a more it was uncomfortable at first,
Hmm.
because for most of my life I had been surrounded in Black culture,
Hmm.
and this particular chapter of Phi Mu Alpha was not exactly of that culture. um
No, no.
I mean, there are, other than me, I did find camaraderie with other Black queer people. Shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to our third chair,
Yeah,
Kevin.
shout out. And even just not even queer, but shout out Corey. Um,
Corey,
love him.
TP,
Yes,
um,
TP. My big Anthony.
Anthony.
Yes.
Who? Come on, who we forgetting? What's up, Chip? How you doing? How you
Hi,
gonna?
Chip.
Hi, Chip. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
But yes,
But it
like,
was mostly
yeah, it was
a lot of white.
predominantly like America white,
Hmm.
and it was a different culture than I had been used to.
Yeah,
Um, as far as I wasn't used to so much being around straight boy
yeah,
frattiness. So it really changed my view on things.
yeah.
And so, and then that summer after I had pledged,
Hmm.
my family had died. So they became sort of my uh crutch to lean on
Yeah.
over the summer, and through the rest of my college years, they kind of became um, my family.
Yeah.
So I appreciate them and love them dearly. And there's so many stories that I will not tell on this podcast, but maybe later,
Yeah.
as we grow and I can show you more of my world. And
OnlyFans. Yeah.
uh, that is TIMEC. No, I'm just playing. It is not. No, but it is, my fraternity is something that I cherish now. D- Before, when I was pledging, I didn't think that I was gonna. You couldn't really tell me that this would be how I feel about them.
No.
Yeah, I was not. I was 21 years old, and a lot of these people were younger than me telling me what to do, and that was not going over very well. Um, and lo and behold, some of them are my great friends now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I no, I think there's something to be said about um, going through trauma and seeing what shakes out, right?
yeah,
I mean, when that happened that summer, uh, I hadn't known you for very long, and the things I did know
no,
about you were very limited to your pledging experience.
yeah.
We hadn't connected on music yet. We hadn't really connected on your voice and connected
I
on any.
honestly, to be honest, I want to say my pledging was very. I was concerned with. I was concerned with like the college of it all
Mhm.
and being scholastic and making sure that I got good grades the first 2 years.
Yeah,
Um, and I was less concerned with getting to know everybody
yeah,
on a very, very, very personal
on a
level.
meaningful level. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
because
what your aim was.
I was like, what do I have to do? I have to do on.
We don't have to put all the stuff
Whoops.
out there. I know
Beep.
it's been a minute since we've had to do that, but
Please stand by. Uh,
but yeah, your
so
priorities were different.
yes, we are going to cut that completely out. Please, please,
Actually, editor
Editor
bear.
Bear,
I,
please cut that completely out.
what I imagined him is just the longest beep we've ever had on the show.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
a 30-second beep.
yeah.
No, yeah, your priorities are different.
Yeah,
you didn't know any of us
yeah.
coming
And
into this
I was,
pastiness. Yeah,
yes, I was like, all
the
right, well, I'm gonna be,
caucasity.
ooh, the Caucasian of it all. It was giving, something that I was like, I'll be a part of this. I love, Kevin's cool. Like
Right? Yeah,
these people go,
sure.
it'll be something that, I'll be the Ruben Studdard. Anyway, but
You did not utter.
I'll win
Ruben's
him
a brother,
over,
isn't he?
huh?
Ruben's a brother, isn't he?
Yeah, Ruben
Yeah,
is
that's right. He
that's
is a
why I
brother.
use him.
Yeah, I thought you
Like,
were just
I'll be a part of it, but I'll win, but
right.
I won't do anything with it.
Yeah,
But
I'll win and walk away.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
oh my gosh. All right, Tim, we're gonna take a quick break, Stutter, and we'll be. Is it Stutter? Ruben
It's
Stutter.
stuttered.
Stuttered. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Ruben
Yes.
Stuttered.
He's a
Ruben,
producer.
we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I love you, Ruben.
Mwah.
Bye.
Was it Ruben and Clay? Was that season?
Yeah, it was
Or
Ruben and Clay, and
and
the girls
Ruben
were
won.
mad. He was the first twink that the girls were really like repping.
We're good. We don't have to have this conversation, but we'll be right back.
Yes. Bye.
Talk about Clay Aiken and Ruben Stutter. Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, one was completely. Is he gay yet?
Oh, Aiken?
Yeah.
He did eventually come out, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I promise we'll be right back now.
bye. are you living? We're done. What are we living for? Who? Listen, um, we got to get to Drag Race. Oh, girl, do you have a shout out? Do you have a girl? No, we're not doing that. We're not gonna, no. I haven't shaded you once
You've been so
at
good.
all. I
You've
have
been so
been
good.
just peachy, just pineapple, just, greens. I didn't even, not only I
Oh my god.
complimented you.
You
I
did.
complimented you. Your
You
skin looks
did.
great. Why does your skin look great?
Thank you. Everybody, I was shady during the break, and I'm sorry, Tim.
I mean, palm trees over this hoe.
Before I say what I'm grateful for, I want to shout out a couple people real quick.
Shut up.
Shout out to our brothers Jason and Kevin.
Hi.
Our listeners will know, they know who Kevin is. Kevin's been here multiple times. We love Kevin. He's our third chair. And he was rocking one of our t-shirts on Instagram this week.
Beautiful cerulean blue.
Just out there working in his garden and rocking us and listening to the podcast. So thank you, Kevin. And then Jason, another fraternity brother. Congratulations to Jason. He just got married at the end of last year, and
Congrats.
he sent me a surprise text the other day of him rocking the shirt, and I was like, "Oh my god, Jason!"
Adorable.
So cute. So to our listeners out there, if you want to, you could email us a picture at wearecubandchub@gmail.com. You can tag us on Instagram. If you have an Instagram account and you want us to share that, we'll do that on the account. But we're just so grateful for our fans, and
we are. We love y'all so much, and we love to see y'all.
Yeah, no, you guys are beautiful and really awesome. So thank you. What's making me live this week? So, Tim and I often discuss our journeys with our health and our fitness.
We do.
It's an ebb and flow. I officially put all the weight back on from what I originally lost this past weekend.
Okay.
I weighed myself, and I knew this was coming.
Mm-hmm.
There was part of me that was always kind of like, I'm okay as long as I don't put all the weight back on. There's, again, these are my mental gymnastics. I'm not saying that's okay, but there was part of me that was holding on to this idea that I'd still not put it all back on. And then this weekend, I crossed that barrier,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my own like internal come to Jesus moment. I think I know a lot of this looks like fat shaming, or this isn't the body I want to live in, and all these kind of things that may come from outside influences. But going through the journey originally to lose weight, I know that I know that the weight I'm carrying right now is a reaction to a year of return anxiety attacks, a year of drinking a bottle of wine a day to manage those panic attacks, of mindlessly eating because I just felt better. Oh, do we have a visitor? What happened?
I don't know why,
Uh-huh.
but this TV just came on.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. We have a third chair. It's a ghost. Welcome to Tim's. That TV is on.
She's she's fearing God right now.
All right. But
so I'm
yeah.
back.
So thanks, Tim.
I did not kill myself if I don't end.
All good. All good.
Whatever ghost is here.
They've arrived.
They've arrived.
They're calling from inside the house. Get out. No, yeah, so I know why I look and feel the way I do mentally and physically. It's because of the things I wasn't taking care of this past year. And yeah, so I've kind of gotten, this week has been full throttle back into tracking my food, to be mindful of what I'm eating. I've been haven't had a glass of wine or any alcohol in the last 5 days. I don't plan on being sober forever, but I just needed a time out
Mhm.
to level set and get out of the haze of drunkenness. So I'm just grateful for, as tough as it's been, I'm grateful to still have the wherewithal to make decisions and make a call and put my health first when that needs to happen. So
Cool.
that's where I'm at. Tim, what about you?
Well, can I can I just say something about that?
Sure.
I don't want you to necessarily like it it came across as you were beating yourself up
Mm-hmm.
about having put on the weight,
Mm-hmm.
put on weight. I I would I would call to you to say um or to understand that sometimes our bodies retain water, not necessarily fat,
Mm-hmm.
and water is very easily removed from the body.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the scale itself, maybe not take it so harshly.
The scale is one of many measurements.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put all the stock in a scale,
Yeah.
but it is a measurement of many.
Yes.
So I hear what you're saying. I think for me it was, I saw what was happening to me this past
Yeah.
year. I wasn't willing to deal with it. And this was one last marker of
Yeah.
I'm
At
okay.
least.
I'm okay
Yeah.
because I didn't do that yet. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
it
I
was
definitely do the same. Yeah.
it was the denial of it more than hitting the number. You know,
Okay.
if I had hit that number and I was mentally happy
Yeah.
and eating, but my body's changing because I'm getting older,
Mhm.
and I wasn't drinking a bottle of wine every night for a year, that would just be another number.
Yeah.
It is the conglomerate of that. So, no, that's the one thing about, no sponsorship, but the group I go to, um,
Yeah.
they really have taken back the idea of, you know, you can weigh yourself if that helps you stay on track,
Mhm.
but it is not the goal.
Yes.
Because again, it's not just about body; it's about mindfulness, the mentality of it. So,
And
yeah.
I want to say congratulations for not picking up the habit of the bottle, for the
Mm.
past 5 days,
Thank you.
There's something to be said about breaking habits that aren't necessarily something that you want to go toward in your life.
Yeah.
And I think that that's commendable
Thank
that
you.
you said you don't want to drink right now and you're not. And that shows a lot of like self-determination. And so that's, you know, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All that's to say, I feel I've felt the best I've felt mentally and physically these last few days. So I'm
Yeah.
doing really well. I know that was kind of a heavy thing, but I'm feeling great. So yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you shaded the shit out of me, even though I said that the skin looked great.
I'm sorry I didn't record it.
Um,
It was funny if not mean. I'm so sorry, Tim.
I mean, it can be both. Uh,
What about you? What do you feel? What are you thankful for this week? What's making you live?
I'm living. For the past week, I've been off work because I'm moving to a new contract for my job. So I have been off this week, and I have been looking at a lot of drag race and drag queens,
Ooh.
and whether it be local or you know drag race itself. Kind of lending my hand as far as monetarily to a couple queens that like I just felt like really entertained me in a way. Um so I'm living for drag queens and
Yeah.
that we are going we are having a lot of political unrest as far as drag is concerned, and I know I'm not doing everything that I can do, but my little part of keeping visibility and showing up where I can and where I feel comfortable
Yeah.
is, you know, is that. So I'm living for drag queens this week.
Drag.
RuPaul's Drag Race, Star Joe, and yes,
And may the
yeah,
best drag
just
queen.
drag win.
Oh, perfect. Well, Tim, we're back. Thank you guys again
We
for sticking
are.
with us.
Yes, sticking us to us like glue right next to our hearts. We love you.
Yeah, Tim and I, we both have, life happens.
Mhm.
So as we take vacations and as we move around, we may find time to time that, the podcast has to take a break. But I think we both find this. I don't know, Tim. I love doing this with you.
I love doing this
I
with
love spending time with you every
you.
week,
I
and
know. I love your
um,
face.
love your face too. Um, Again, thanks for everybody sticking with us. You can follow us everywhere at Cub and Chub. At Cub and Chub. You can email us. Where can they email us, Tim?
You can email us at wearecubandchub@gmail.com. Again, that is wearecubandchub@gmail.com.
Oh, man, you got to get into radio. Look at you.
Listen,
You got to get into podcasting.
uh, give me an advertisement, girl.
Give me those ducats. Hey,
Taboo
so
toys. Anyway,
our listeners, if you are listening through Apple Podcast, send us an email and let me know if you are hearing our ad. Um, I think there's something weird going on because Spotify it's a video, but Apple it's audio, and so
so I listened to the first. I had a moment where I wanted to go back and listen to
yeah.
earlier podcasts. I listened to the first one and I heard it, but I
Okay,
listened to the most recent one I didn't hear it.
didn't hear it. Okay, I got to look into that. I'm still learning the technical side of the podcast stuff. So, yeah, let us know if you're hearing our ad. I'd be curious to know. But anyway, Tim, I think we're gonna go get our drag race on. So
Yes, I'm so
everybody, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Mwah.
excited.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Looking for more drag race?
Here you go.
Like titties on them. STDs.
It's titties. She went wild. I'm sorry.
Listen, she went off.
wild.
I just want to let you know that she is my favorite because she is the realest thing to come out of Drag Race since Bob the Drag Queen. Like, she did not, she was like, I'm enraged. I'm incensed. I do not care what you feel. And then she can't listen, just and did it very, very packaged. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like maybe like MIB told her, um, girl, do you want to come back for
She,
All Stars? Then
there
I'm gonna
are
need you to apologize.
paychecks here
Yeah.
in your
And
future.
she was like, okay, girl. Like,
I
and she got
Yeah.
on Roscoe's and was like, you know, here's my white woman cry and forgive me, emotions, Latina, you know. Uh, and we forgive her. But I never had anything to forgive because I was living. I was living.
It was such a roller coaster, and again, like up and down the season, and then like that week she got off
Yeah.
was crazy, and
It
then
was just a crazy week
yeah,
for her. I was just like, dang girl, it's been a year ago.
I'm glad she seems to be like things have evened out a little bit,
Yeah.
but she's
Um,
exciting.
yeah, listen, I want to see her on Drag You. I want to see Like if she don't win, I want
I'm in. I'm in the STD's business. I'm here for it.
I want to
Did you
see.
see? Did you see Bob doing her piece in the with the bodysuit? Yeah.
Yes. She took the money.
With those big ass hands. Oh my god, so good.
Oh, I
Okay,
love it. I love it for them.